It's a troubling trend that we talk about all the time. The number of teens and juveniles involved in crimes has skyrocketed this year. So much so, Metro Police began a special task force to try to deal with it.
News Channel 5's Jonquil Newland shows us how they're impacting the community and which programs are helping our city's at-risk youth.
The Juvenile Task Force has arrested and charged 130 teens since February, but city leaders and organizations are doing what they can to curb the violence among our city's youth.
We want the court system to put them in programs that keep juveniles out of trouble before we see them as criminals.
Far too often, young men without proper guidance and support find themselves in facilities like this one. Since the beginning of this year, police have seen a disturbing trend. Not only are more teens committing crimes, but the suspects are much younger.
Generally, we think of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids involved in things, but this is down in 12 and 13. So we're not even talking juveniles, we're talking kids.
Since the Juvenile Crime Task Force was founded in February, officers have charged 130 juveniles on 82 felonies and 176 misdemeanors. The team has seized 98 guns and recovered 60 stolen and carjacked vehicles.
When I got out of the car, there was a kid with a gun standing right next to me.
Earlier this month, one woman watched in shock as an armed teen stole her car.
He just looked like a young boy. It was not an adult. I would say he was probably between 13 and 15 years old.
Despite the uptick in juveniles committing crimes, there are programs trying to help. Earlier today, 28 young men graduated from the Youth Citizens Police Academy. The goal is to not only educate young men on the daily life of officers, but to create a working relationship between the two.
They take their thought process and they impute it in somebody else as far as their peers.
This is a big step in the right direction, but leaders know it takes a village to raise a child.
And all of Nashville has to step up, and let's address this problem before it gets completely out of hand. Let's give kids something to do, some direction.
Jonquil Newland, News Channel 5.
Chief Anderson went on to say officers will continue to work with the courts and youth programs across the city.
You know,